In this video, we're going to talk about visibility and graphics. So there's two ways to enter the visibility and graphics box. So you can either go up here to your tabs in view and select visibility and graphics and it pops up, or the other way is by typing VV. That's the shortcut. So VV will also bring you to the exact same box. So basically, to simply put, visibility and graphic overrides is over here in your project browser for the floor plans, ceiling plans, 3D view, elevations. Each one of those can be adjusted singularly. So let's say if I want to make adjustments to just my level 1 visually by turning on and off or changing colors, I can do that just for level 1. I can make adjustments to my 3D view, and it's only going to affect that particular layer, that view, nothing else. So here, if we look at our box of visibility and graphics, we have a couple tabs up here at the top. We have model categories, which are basically your three-dimensional modeling items. So your doors, windows, columns, furniture, plants, that type of thing. The next one is the annotation categories, which are your tags, call-outs, anything that's kind of basically describing information. And then the next one is your analytical model categories. Don't worry about that. Imported categories are if you have, let's say, a CAD file or another REVIT file linked to it for some reason. And then filters, don't worry about as well. So as we look through here, you can see you have your plus sign, and you can go into even more detail. And then these check marks are basically your on-off switches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to level 1. So in my level 1, let's say I do not want to see my trees. I could hide them if I wanted to, but I can also press VV, and here I'm going to go down to plants, because trees are part of the plant family. If you don't know what family the particular item is that you're trying to hide or change, you can just hover over it with your mouse. So you can see there, as I hover over, it's displaying planting RPC tree deciduous American beech. So when I go into my visibility, I know it's part of the plant family. So I'm going to find plants, if I keep going. Planting, if I click on the check mark and apply, they disappear. Okay? So what I can also do over here is make adjustments. So halftone is basically going to make something lighter. So what I can do is visually, if we look, our walls are dark. So I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to go to walls here at the bottom, and I'm going to check halftone, select. I'll actually move this down so you can see it happen, or here we go. Let's do this. Apply, and now you can see my walls are now halftone. If I want to change it, select it, apply, and now they're dark again. Same thing works. Let me see if I can make this box a little smaller. Perfect. Is if I want to change the color of my walls. So if I come down to my walls, right here, I can change multiple things. So once I select my walls, you can see that I have this override option. So projection and surface is basically referring to most of your 3D aspects. Elevation view 3D. Cut is referring to your two-dimensional aspects, for example, my floor plan. So if I go to override, I can choose a color or a pattern. So let's say I just want a solid fill, and instead of it being black, I like my walls to be lime green. I can select OK, click OK, and select apply, and now I'm going to hit OK. If I zoom in, my walls are now green. So as you're working on something, if you like specific colors because you have a lot going on, and the colors will help you understand what each item is or what feature is, you can go in and adjust that. So if I go to level 2, everything that I just did shouldn't be affecting my walls. And the only reason these are halftone right now is because I don't have a second floor. If I drew in a wall on my second level, it would be the solid black. So I'm going to go back here to level 1, and I'm just going to keep that as is. One of the other nice features that you can do is create multiple 3D views. So right now I'm going to go into my 3D view, and this is what I see. If I want to create another 3D view that restricts what I'm seeing, I can right click, and then I want to go to duplicate view and duplicate. So as I select between my two options, they're the exact same. But if I go to my 3D copy number 1, I'm going to go into my VV, and let's say on this view I do not want any of the trees. So I'm going to go down to planting, select it, get rid of it. Let's say doors and windows, I also don't want. So I'm going to go down to windows, turn those off, and also I'm going to turn off my doors, apply, OK, and now visually they have been removed. So if I go to my other 3D view, oh, there we go, sorry, double click on it. I was only single clicking won't do anything. Make sure you double click, but it is going to keep those changes that I made to my copy. So let's say you're working on something and you have a bunch of trees and you would like to see it without those trees or certain features. You can create another view and have it display that so you can see it. So that's just some of the features of the visibility and graphics aspect or box. So let's say you just don't want any of it. You can always just go back into VV and find what you want, click on it, apply, and it will all be back to normal. Okay, so that is your graphics and visibility tool, and it will be helpful to you a lot of times, especially when you're working with a site plan, or if you have a bunch of lines, you can color code it to help you understand what you need.